We have to discuss the image that went around the world, okay? Harry leading Meghan into Kris Jenner's 70th 007 themed birthday party in Beverly Hills. Harry with a face like thunder, wearing his Remembrance Day poppy, which I'm sorry, not appropriate for the event. He's got her by the hand. He's looking down. He's not even looking at her. She's way behind him and she is beaming. She is beaming like this is the biggest moment of her life, save her wedding. The Daily Mail headline, "A world away from royal duty, : Prince Harry seems, quote, fed up of being paraded and unable to, quote, stage Rictusgrin." You have got to love those headline writers at the Mail. As he and populist Meghan visit Kris Jenner's 70th on the eve of Remembrance Sunday. Kinsey, what do you make of this?
Well, as somebody that follows the royal family, of course, I'm loving the images we're getting leading up to Kris Jenner's birthday of Prince George showing up to an event with Princess Catherine wearing their poppies. Then we get the beautiful Remembrance Sunday shots of the king, Prince William, Catherine, and Queen Camilla, all looking graceful and stoic and just respectful of, our veterans and patriotic, just the jarring contrast between those images we're seeing out of the UK of the royal family honoring the dead, honoring the heroes, versus Harry and Meghan keeping up with the Kardashians. It is unreal. And you're just so thoroughly disappointed in Prince Harry because you're right. He's wearing that. Well, I mean, he's wearing that poppy because he's trying to remind us that he has this history. But I think that, ultimately, I think that he has been, I think this is who he is now, whether he likes it or not. He's become a reality TV star. I mean, the last time we really saw anything from him was the Netflix series. Okay, occasionally he does little interviews, but it shows us what the Sussexes have been reduced to. They are unapologetically tacky, and you're seeing where their priorities are here. Also, you might get this more than some of the UK audience, but the Kardashians have been selling family secrets to the media for years. Kris Jenner, the last 48 hours, Kris Jenner's birthday, Kylie Jenner's cat, Kim Kardashian's failed bar exam. They have the media on speed dial. This is what they do. They are not trustworthy. How can Harry lash out at his family for doing the exact same thing, but for some reason, the Kardashians' cooperation with the media is okay? You know what I mean?
Such a great point, Kinsey. You know what Harry calls briefing against me, right? Palace courtiers for King Charles, Prince William, Catherine, briefing against me. Such a great point. Number two, again, how could his family be getting any messaging other than this is the level we're at? And yes, I am consorting with people who have TMZ and Backgrid on speed dial. Thirdly, this goes to the lack of good people they have around them. It is not advisable to wear a somber Remembrance Day poppy for those who were slaughtered in World War I and World War II, preserving the Western world and democracy upon crossing the threshold of I picture this tableau when towards the end of Rosemary's Baby, when Mia Farrow is making her peace with the notion that her child, her newborn, is going to be raised by the Satanic Coven in the, I think it's in the Dakota, on the Upper West Side. And she peers through the doorway and there's the bassinet and it's like swathed, it's like hanging down is like the black crepe, like the black mesh. And Ruth Gordon is in there with her like elderly hand. Like she's like, I'm going to make this baby Satan. Like that's what Harry's doing. You're crossing the threshold. Okay. You're the sacrifice. You are the human sacrifice, you dummy. And this is my theory, and tell me what you think of it. I'm dying to know. Here's what I think. I think Meghan went to Kris Jenner and said, would you get me in to a major fashion show in Paris? Kris Jenner said, sure, I could get you into Balenciaga first row, but the trade-off is you've got to come and be photographed at my 70th birthday with Harry. And that's why he's there.
And miserable. Well, Tom Bauer does say, and I believe him, that Meghan has been desperate for these kinds of invitations for a while. So I think that you have a point that Meghan's not the prize at the door. It's Prince Harry.
It's Harry.
It's getting Prince Harry in the door. So I can see that. You and I have been reporting for months that there's some sort of collaboration going on between Kris Jenner and Meghan Markle and Kardashian. I had somebody say to me in the last few days, oh, but Meghan's not like him because she wouldn't make a sex tape. I mean, fellatio on the pilot episode of the new Beverly Hills 90210. Really, would she not make a sex tape? I don't know. Before Prince Harry, I don't know. Because she is making all of her dreams come true right now. It's Harry that looks absolutely miserable and homesick. And he's writing about being homesick, and I miss the banter. I miss the humor. What you miss is having a life of your own. What you miss is having friends that understood your upbringing, that didn't judge you and criticize you for your traditions and again for the way that you were brought up. Because clearly Meghan Markle is a buzzkill. Otherwise, he would still have relationships with anybody from his old world. He doesn't talk to his family. He has no friends. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle is chasing after Oprah, Tyler Perry, Mariah, and Kris Jenner at this birthday party, and she thinks she's hit the jackpot. But I feel like it's a reflection of how far they've come and how they really have just become these reality TV personalities.
They thought when they sat down with Oprah Winfrey right before COVID hit that they were hard launching the rival court of Montecito that was going to take down the monarchy. And this is where they're at, getting papped by Backgrid, Meghan beaming like she's on her way to her own coronation. This is like the ultimate for her to be invited to a Kris Jenner jam. Harry looks disconsolate. Harry looks like he can't believe how far he's fallen.
Right.
If Diana were alive and she was a true monarchist, she would be apoplectic that these two are not only consorting with the Kardashians. You see these images from the party and it's like oiled up reality stars, the likes of, Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, Real Housewives, or Kim, like spilling out of her skin tight dress, fresh off having failed the bar and the worst reviewed streaming show in modern history, 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. These are the people Harry is running with now. I want to run, by the way, equally pathetic. Harry, up in Canada, trying to remind everybody that he once did stand for something, veterans and Invictus Games, apologizing. He may as well be down on his own hands and knees to Canada, which his father is the monarch of, the king of, for wearing a Dodgers cap at the World Series game in LA. And if you're not watching this, I have to implore you, watch this segment on YouTube because the micro expressions on the face and the body language, our pal Mark Bowden would go to town for days. Here we go.
Well, firstly, I would like to apologize to Canada for wearing it. Secondly, I was under duress. There wasn't much choice. I was invited to the LA Dodgers box or the dugout by the owner himself. So
never his fault.
It's a polite thing to do, but
he practically curtsies there.
I'm going to wear this from now on to make sure I don't make any more of those mistakes. But the other piece to this was, as you could probably relate, when you're missing a lot of hair on top and you're sitting under floodlights, you'll take any hat that's available.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. He gave like 5 excuses for why he wore the Dodgers hat, none of which were his responsibility. This is a 40-something-year-old prince of the blood. Oh my God. It was under duress First of all, how classless are you? You were invited by the owner of the team. You were seated front row in front of
And
Sandy
you're throwing
Koufax.
him under the bus right now. You will never be invited again.
You'll never be invited back. Yet another list they've been crossed off of permanently. They are so déclassé and tacky, these two. Then, oh, well, I made a mistake and I won't be making that mistake again. And he like kind of like almost does like a mini curtsy, like a lady, like, oh, okay. Oh, and then somebody's handing me this hat, the Blue Jays hat, and I'm going to put this on now, and I'm going to firmly affix it onto my head. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm bald. I mean, I may have made fun of my brother, Prince William, for going bald before me, but like now I'm bald too. And when you have hot lights on the top of your bald spot, you know what you're going to do? You're going to grab any hat available. This is a man. This is a man. Kinsey.
Listen. All I have to say is I'm so grateful to finally hear an apology from Prince Harry in any way, shape, or form, because he still hasn't apologized to his family for calling them all racists. So at least we know he's actually capable of saying the words, I'm sorry. That's impressive. But what a great example of their just disloyalty in general, which we do consistently see with both of their families. They are loyal to no one unless you have an opportunity in front of them right there in that moment. I'm so sorry that I wore the Dodgers hat. The man that gave me the free seats put me in it. But now I'm loyal to you guys. Now I'm going to resort to being loyal to you guys because you're in front of me right now. They're loyal to absolutely no one. And, he was trying to have a cute self-deprecating moment there with the bald comment. But what I took away from the visit, which I don't know if you saw, he's talking to CTV in that interview, and they ask him about being at the Sunnydale Veterans Center. And he says, well, my aunt's been here, my grandmother's been here, my great grandmother's been here. He's trying to remind us that he's royal. He's trying to force the half in, half out royal look, royal strategy that the Queen said absolutely not. And I don't care how many elderly veterans you sit and paint poppies next to, we will not forgive you for the heinous way you treated your elderly grandmother and grandfather on their deathbeds. You were horrible to them. So you can spend time at little veteran centers all over the place. But some, veterans themselves, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, felt ultimately betrayed by you in their final days here on this earth. They were fearful of you. They didn't know what you were going to do next. So I don't care how many pictures you take next to old people or elderly, who I love. I'm not disparaging them in any way, shape, or form.
I know what you're saying.
But Prince William is or Prince Harry is using them as props to try to change public perception of him.
And, not for nothing, but it was just reported over the weekend. I pulled this out of the New York Post that Andrew, now known as Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, get ready for it, Harry. It's coming your way. Notable that Meghan doesn't bother anymore going with him on these Invictus trips or trips involving veterans. She said she didn't wear a poppy to Kris Jenner's 70th, unlike her husband, because they weren't, and this is per the Daily Mail, quote, readily available. And I had a troublemaker.
$8.99 on Amazon. $8.99 on Amazon. I ordered it yesterday. It got to my house today. You're lying, Meghan Markle.
And by the way, you know who were guests also at that event? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. She could have texted Lauren and said, I need a poppy ASAP.
Yeah. Warehouse?
It would have been sent via drone to wherever she was.
Exactly.
They would have 3D printed it. Get the F out. Get out. So the Queen, I kind of think now that there's some sort of, there is definitely a through line as to how Harry got this way, because this report says that the Queen, when she was alive, allowed Andrew to have multiple hookers repeatedly at Buckingham Palace. And I think this sort of looking the other way when it comes to the favorite son, who's a bit of a, they used to call him Randy Andy. This was back in the 80s. Today, it's like, the new reports have it that like those two, Andrew and Sarah, are going to have to leave the UK altogether and might be headed for prison.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I thought that Congress demanding he testify for them probably put the fear of God into him, because I don't think that King Charles is protecting him anymore. But then at the same time, today, it was announced that Princess Beatrice is the new patron of a hospital which was approved by King Charles. And then she was there taking pictures. And now there are people in the UK in an uproar over the fact that, especially so quickly after what's happening with Prince Andrew, they're giving Princess Beatrice a platform. So what truly is going on there? Who is looking at the optics? Because
did he do that, by the way, while William was in Rio?
I mean, William's home now, so no, this has happened in the last 48 hours.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe the decision was made while William was in Rio, but the announcement has come down within the last 24 hours. So I don't think that the optics are great there. If the UK wants this family to disappear, I know time heals all wounds, and those girls should not be punished for their father's behavior, but their finances are being combed over forensically based on Prince Andrew's relationships with some unsavory characters. They should have just disappeared for a little while. And then maybe King Charles could have positioned them in some comfy situation. But I think that it's hard for people to forget about the embarrassment of Prince Andrew with his daughters front and center.
Absolutely. I don't think William's going to be pleased about this at all. And I agree with you that it's, again, Meghan, if you want to know what your future looks like, look at what's going on with your closest living relative. I mean, reputationally, Sarah Ferguson, aka Fergie, she is being investigated for misappropriating charity funds for her own benefit.
Fergie who played herself on Friends, Meghan who's playing herself in a new Amazon MGM movie. They are twins.
Apparently, I heard the producers of that film were livid because they wanted her cameo to be a surprise. And what did Meghan do? But
leaked it.
Allegedly, reportedly.
Leaks it the day William lands in Rio for Earthshot. Classic.
I feel no sympathy for anybody who gets in bed with these people whatsoever. You know exactly who you're getting. You're getting snakes in the grass. Last Meghan bit before we move on. It was announced on her Instagram on Monday that the long-awaited holiday edition of With Love Meghan. And by the way, every time I go to type in With Love Meghan, when we're doing a Nerve master list for any given show, I almost write MEGYN, because that's the real With Love Meghan. That's the one worth watching. I always have to stop myself, and I'm like, no, it's that other Meghan.
Yeah.
The bad Meghan, not the good Meghan. But so she announced on her Instagram on Monday, With Love Meghan holiday celebration coming December 3rd on Netflix. So what did the tagline, embracing traditions and making new ones. You could say that again, sister. So then I went right over to Netflix's Instagram, and guess what? Netflix, it's not to be found on their Instagram.
I have the press release. Do you want to hear the press release?
Oh, I'd love it.
Yeah, they sent it to me today. It says, this December, join Meghan in Montecito for a magical holiday celebration. Together, friends and family deck the halls, create holiday feasts, craft heartfelt gifts, and share lots of laughs with simple how-tos to follow at home. It's a holiday wonder with warmth, tradition, and a generous dose of joy. I do love the tagline about embracing traditions and making new ones, because you kind of have to make new ones when you have no friends or family. Every time someone new shows up, because you can't keep anybody around, you are creating a new tradition. But keep the date. Remember, she told Fortune's Most Powerful Women that it was being released in November.
That's right.
Keep the date, December 3rd, which will nicely conflict with Catherine, Princess of Wales's Carol concert. Meghan, you are atrocious, and we see through you. You're whatever the opposite of the Christmas spirit is, okay?
Keep trying, Meghan. Keep trying to compete with somebody who does not think about you at all and is so head and shoulders above you and is going down in the history books as the Queen of England and the mother of a future monarch who has helped keep the royal family intact. Here's a shock. It's been over 16 years since the federal minimum wage was raised to $7.25. Can you believe it? Company productivity has doubled, but has your wallet size? 1 in 5 Americans can't even qualify for a basic credit card. The system is broken. We all deserve access to decent housing, transportation, and financial stability. That is where Kickoff comes in. Kickoff helps you build credit fast with affordable plans starting at just $5 per month. No hidden fees, no interest, just on-time payments that get reported to credit bureaus and help you grow a strong credit score. Users with credit scores under 600 saw an average increase of 84 points in their first year. With premium plans, you can even build credit with the rent you already pay. Only positive payments get reported. It is so easy to get started. Sign up in minutes from your phone. No credit check, no hassle. Over 1 million users and hundreds of thousands of 5-star reviews make Kickoff the #1 credit builder on the App Store. Start building credit today and get your first month for just $1 at getkickoff.com/Maureen. That's getkickoff.com/Maureen.